Orvis-endorsed operations or evaluating new operations for Orvis-endorsed lodges internationally. So we can all feel very sorry for Seth. But because Seth travels a lot, and I know Seth, and he never travels without fishing gear, he's got a lot of experience in packing and what to pack and how to pack it and what you can carry on and what you can't and so on. And I get a lot of these questions frequently in the podcast, so I figured I would interview Seth, and we'll talk a little bit with this expert from the Orvis Adventures Department. So hope you enjoy it and hope you learned something. I know I did. But before we do that, let's do the fly box. And the fly box is where you ask questions and I try to answer them sometimes. I don't answer all your questions. So if you don't hear your question read on the air, it's either because I just answered that question a couple podcasts ago, or perhaps I just didn't think it was an appropriate question that would be of interest to the kind of a broad group of podcast listeners, because we have listeners from all over the world. So I try to answer questions that I think will be valuable to the rest of the listeners and not just the individual who asked the question. So anyway, let's start with by the way, if you have a question for me, you can send it to podcast@orvis.com. Either just type your message into your question into your email, or you can attach a voice file, and if I can answer the question, I'll read it on the air. So the first one is an email from Clayton, and this is in response to a question we had a couple weeks ago in the fly box. In response to the 9-foot 5-weight Euro nymph question, and this, by the way, was a gentleman who was struggling Euro nymphing with a standard 9-foot 5-weight rod. I still think you should revisit the issue. There's a fine distinction between a Euro rig and a mono rig. Your listener with the previous question should be answered. It's essentially a hybrid system of the Harvey leader, but far more versatile. If you dove into it, I think you'd find it interesting. The mono rig can and is fly cast worthy. His rod, this is talking about the person who asked the previous question, which is a slow reaction, was probably taking too long to load. It also requires good casting principles. 20-pound Maxima can be tossed around just as easily as fly line. If the gentleman was using thinner diameter leader formula, I doubt this would work. And Tom, who I utmost respect and have since I've been reading your books since mid-1990s, please don't call it lobbing. It's a cast and or a casting stroke. Also check out the Trout Bitten Mono Rig website. Thanks for all you do. And by the way, if you're interested in this mono rig, yes, Clayton mentions the Trout Bitten blog, which is one that I'm a big fan of, and Dom there does a lot of fishing and shares a lot of techniques about this mono rig that he uses. So it's a great place to go for some kind of innovative techniques. Now, Clayton, I really don't think, I really question your statement that 20-pound Maxima can be tossed around just as easily as fly line. If that was true, we wouldn't need $100 fly lines. We could just use 20-pound leaders and make long leaders and fish with that. But I don't think you're going to be able to fish beyond 20 or 30 feet with just 20-pound monofilament, no matter what brand it is. So yes, you can cast a little bit better with a 20-pound mono rig than you can with a very thin Euro leader. Euro leaders are typically thinner diameter, particularly at the end. But I don't think you're going to be able to do all the things you can do with a fly line. Fly rods weren't made to throw 20-pound monofilament. They're made to throw much higher grain weight material. And I apologize, as if I hurt someone's feelings by calling this lobbing instead of casting. So I guess it is a cast. You're using